Hello Disney friends, my name is Hailey and welcome to EPCOT. This is the park overview for the experimental prototype Community of Tomorrow, the EPCOT theme park here at the Walt Disney World Resort. This video will contain information on stores, restaurants, and attractions here at EPCOT. If you've never visited with us before, or if you're returning after quite a few years, this will be a very brief general overview. And know that Walt Disney World does change quite frequently, but for the most part, all the information I'm going to be giving you today is correct as of the filming of this video. But if there's any certain things that you're looking out for or need more information about, leave them down below in the comments or ask guest relations whenever you get here and they can answer that for you, just because again, timing, things do change, especially now as we are coming out of the COVID time frame. So this is an overview of EPCOT. I hope you find this video helpful. Be sure to subscribe down below so you do not miss my overview for all of the other parks. So we're going to first start out at the parking lot. If you are driving into EPCOT, just know that the parking lot is directly in front of the park. There's no other transportation that you will need to take to get to the front entrance. And they are usually running trams, although at this current filming, they are not. But usually if you need a little tram break to get to your car, that is available for you. Wheelchair parking is also located super close to the front gates, just for your knowledge. And you just let them know whenever you pull up to the parking ticket station to pay for parking. Just let them know that you do need a wheelchair parking spot, and then they can direct you with further instructions. Now, if you're taking a Disney bus, know that you can get to EPCOT from all Walt Disney World resorts using the complimentary bus transportation system. And if you're coming from the Magic Kingdom resorts, or if you're park hopping over from Magic Kingdom, there is an EPCOT monorail that comes directly here. And then over in the back of the park, which we'll visit here in a little while, is International Gateway. This is the only park with 2 entrances to any guests. So that monorail just came from Magic Kingdom or the Ticket and Transportation Center. And as you can see, the monorail station is just right here outside of the tap-in touch points. And prior to the touch points, you can see little ticket stations if you do need to buy tickets for the day, buy tickets for your trip, and they can also help you with kind of scheduling reservations. If you have any questions along the ticket side, that's gonna be right before you enter the park. And then tapping into the park using my Magic Band, you can also use a park ticket card or your phone you can now access to get into the park as well. And currently you do need a park reservation to enter the Walt Disney World theme parks, and you can park hop starting at 2 o'clock if you have a park hopper ticket. So that's the overview you need to know on how to get here, but once you're here, there's a whole new world to explore. Right after you tap in those front gates, you'll see this little stand featuring maps in all different languages. There's also a map for guests with disabilities if you're looking to find any sort of like ramps or different attractions just to know where you need to transfer and whatnot. Also know that at the guest relations, you can get items such as braille maps or different listening devices if you need to kind of describe the areas. Just check in with the guest relations at the front of the park and you might be able to get something that may help you here at your Walt Disney World visit. They have lots of really amazing things to help accommodate and make your trip as easy and fun as possible. And then next to the map location, you will see something that says Festival Passports. And if you know EPCOT, you know that they do very special festivals all year round. So from January to March, they do what's called Festival of the Arts. From March to sometime in the summer, it does change, they do the Flower and Garden Festival. And then from there on to about November, they do the Food and Wine Festival. And then at the end of the year, they do the Festival of the Holidays. Each festival includes very special foods, which you'll find here in this passport guide. And this guide will also let you know where all of the specialty merchandise is. And then sometimes there's also specialty entertainment. So if you're coming any of those times a year, be sure to check in with this festival passport to see where all of the special festival things are. You're gonna see festival booths throughout World Showcase, specialty merchandise in all of the stores that we'll see here in a few moments. But be sure to pick up this festival passport just so you know what's going on for whatever festival you're here for. Also, before coming to the Walt Disney World Resort, you want to be sure to download the My Disney Experience app. This is going to be your key, your guide, your best friend. If you're using Genie Plus or Lightning Lane, you will need to have this app to book times and reservations. If you're using the Disability Access Service Pass, you will also need to have the app to do so. Now, some other important things to note about the app. This is also where you can find a map just in case yours gets wet or missing or something like that. And this is where you can view the current wait times throughout the park as well. It's just taking a few minutes here to load. Sometimes you do need to turn off the Wi-Fi for it to load properly. So this is super nice. It works like any other map guide where it does show exactly where I am currently, that little blue dot, and then I can scroll throughout the park to see the current wait times for all of these attractions, which I'll be describing here very, very shortly. Just know that currently here at EPCOT, the most popular ride is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, which is currently using a virtual queue system, and if you need more information about that, you're going to want to go to the 3 little bars here and click on virtual queues, and be sure to check this anytime you're visiting Walt Disney World, just to be sure that none of the rides you're looking to ride need a virtual queue system, just so you know when you need to book that. And just so you know, the virtual queue tab is super, super easy to use. It will walk you through exactly what you need to do, and you need to make sure to book that virtual queue at 7 a.m. on the day that you're visiting that park. So for example, this morning I did get up at 7 a.m. I clicked on virtual queues, and I got a reservation for Guardians of the Galaxy to ride today while I'm here. So it's quite easy to do, but that will be for any new attraction that's in the parks. There'll be a virtual queue for it, but eventually they will take that away and there will be a standby line. As far as other popular rides in this park, you're going to want to look out for Frozen Ever After. Is usually about an hour wait for most of the day if you're a fan of Frozen. Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is also the next current newest attraction, which does sit around an hour as well. And other popular attractions, including Test Track, are also quite high, but everything else is normally quite low, ranges in like the 30 to 40 minute range at its highest time. Now, one other thing I want to be sure to show here, you can check on wait times, local characters, dining, entertainment. You can also see where the restrooms are, where photo pass stations are, where guest services is, where shops are, and transportation. So if you feel lost at any point, of course you can ask any cast member, but you can also view it on the app. And then whenever you click on one, for example, say I'm trying to get to Test Track over here, if I click on that, it says get directions. It shows me it's a 6-minute walk. If I click on that and use my current location, I can hit start walking, and it will give me directions on how to get there. So this is your key, this is your guide. This will help you so much if you like kind of more guided directions. If a map really isn't your thing, that's what I highly recommend doing. And we are currently sitting here at the very, very main entrance. We did everything up in this broad area, and now we're going to be making our way down the center to explore the area, which is now called World Celebration. Alright, so World Celebration over there to my left, this is the park entrance, and then for any festival you're here for, there's often a really, really cool photo op here in front of Spaceship Earth. Now, Spaceship Earth is the icon to EPCOT, and let me tell you, she is the prettiest girl in school, as most people refer to her as. There are all of these flags up here around the front of the park representing the original lands of EPCOT and the current lands of EPCOT. Each pavilion has its own logo, and whenever I refer to pavilion, it's mainly just each building, which I'll get more into once we get deeper into the park. So this area just has lots of really cool like flower beds. It's very, very pretty. They decorate it super nice for the different festivals. As you can see right now, there's 50th anniversary kind of banners about, and if you're looking for a character meet and greet, often over here to the right you can find Goofy and Pluto currently over in these areas, which again you can view on the My Disney Experience app. Oh, and then the monorail coming through is just absolutely wonderful. When you come into the park and head to the left, just opposite of where those meet and greets were, over here is where you're going to find the wheelchair and ECV rentals, along with stroller rentals. And over here you can see them all roped off. This is also where you will return them at the end of the night. They have them quite organized. It's currently Mickey and Minnie strollers, which I think are pretty cute. And then also over here they have little attachments for your stroller. They have hats for kids. They have fans. They have Mickey ear gloves and like quick little to-go snacks. Oh, it also looks like some pins and water. So anything you kind of need to load up, sunglasses as well. Anything you kind of need. There's also sunscreen, cooling towels, cameras, batteries. That kind of stuff you're going to find over here in this area. Anything you need for your stroller. They got little bags you can add on, little signs you can get too. So anything you need there as well. You can also purchase strollers here. They're just like little folding to-go ones. So now that we made it here through the front, kind of lots of information here at the beginning. We have the center fountain, which lights up so beautiful at night. I'd highly recommend coming up here at nighttime because there is a special lighting show on Spaceship Earth that happens all throughout the night. It does light up so beautifully. Such a breathtaking view. Now directly under Spaceship Earth, you're gonna find an attraction called Spaceship Earth, and this will explore kind of the history of communication and of like the world, just like big kind of world events with animatronics. It is a slow, dark moving attraction. It is a little more like history educational based. If you're into that as well. The wait for it is currently 15 minutes, although you can see it is a little bit long, but you do get to go inside of Spaceship Earth and just ride around. It's not fast at all, and they just kind of talk to you. It's a good place if you need to cool off for a little bit. It is a little bit of a longer ride, because it's just kind of telling you all sorts of fun things. Now underneath Spaceship Earth, we're gonna go to the left and make our way around the park towards the right. Right over here is the stroller parking area. Here we have Gateway Gifts. And this is where you can also purchase maps for the festivals. They often do scavenger hunts. If you buy one of these redemption maps, you can use stickers to go around the park, and then once you complete it, you do get a prize at the very, very end. Here you can find different bottles of water and things. Just like a super general like mini toy store, just kind of extra little things you needed. Sunscreen in there too, all of that fun stuff. So here's Spaceship Earth. Again, we're gonna head to the left side. This is going to be heading towards World Discovery. Note that there is stroller parking and restrooms right over here to the left hand side as you make your way up. Now just know that Epcot is currently the park under the most construction, and hopefully by the time that you are seeing this video, the construction is slowly fading away. So just know that this video will probably be the most different here in a few years in comparison, just because this park is going to be changing quite a lot, and you'll see over here by the construction walls. I also forgot to mention, if you're celebrating a birthday and anniversary, something special, you can get the free buttons at any store location or over here at Guest Relations. It's just going to be straight up here to the left-hand side, and they can help you with any sort of park issues. If you have any sort of complaints, you need help with something, they can get that all organized for you right over here in Guest Relations, and that is its permanent location. Now as we come up here, this is kind of the big construction is right, of course, in the front center of the park. They're currently building a walk-through Moana attraction, which will be towards the right-hand side, along with the festival center and beautiful Walt statue and all of these wonderful kind of flower beds and just really beautiful areas. So that will be coming here soon. Project Tomorrow, this is also the exit to Spaceship Earth. If you don't want to ride and you're just going to wait for someone, it's going to be right here. And the good thing is right across the way is actually a restaurant along with a Starbucks called Connections Cafe. Now let's head into Connections Cafe just so you guys can get a vibe of what they have going in here. This front side is going to feature the Starbucks location, and this is themed to kind of like classic Epcot. Check this out. Great place to cool off. There's lots of seating, and there's also USB chargers in the seats, which is super cool. So if you do need to kind of cool down a little bit, again, if you're just waiting for some people on rides, this is also super close to some of the more thrill rides. So if you'd rather just chill out and wait for your family, this is a great place to do so. Now this is the ramp I was just coming up from. Project Tomorrow, which is the exit to Spaceship Earth, is going to be right here. I just walked inside the building a little bit, but if you follow this main pathway around, here's a sign here for Connections Cafe, which again is the Starbucks, but on the other side is the quick service restaurant. So we'll get to that here in just a moment. We're going to follow the main path around. If you're heading to World Showcase, this is probably going to be your fastest little loop around to the front of the park, kind of the center of the park, if you will. So this little overhang is very kind of iconic to separate buildings here in the World Celebration area. We have another sign over here for Connections. This is another great place to cool off. There's some benches in here, and they also do really cool lighting over here as well. There is of course some directional signage all about, and we're going to head over here into World Discovery, and then we'll meet back over here to explore more of the things in this little overhang. Another fun little touch, just so you know, whenever you're in a different land, as you can see, the World Discovery icon for Guardians right there is showcased in red. So we're still in World Celebration because all the trash cans are blue, but no, when you come over here, they're all red. So you can always tell someone, I'm by red trash cans, in case you can't find me. Now this is kind of, I guess, the hub of the World Discovery section. Over here you can find some information for Disney Vacation Club. There's also a little stand over there that says pretzels and popcorn. And oh look, the Jaminators are out. They often perform here, pretty often. Kind of classic Epcot entertainment right here. Now over here on the other side of Connections Eatery. So the cafe is Starbucks, the eatery is over here on this side Again, just looping around, that little awning's right over here. Just on the other side is where you're going to find the eatery. So you see a little menu here. Hello. And then right inside here is going to be your quick service location. Again, if you're just looking to grab a bite to eat, your family's on Guardians and that is not the pace for you. Good place to just grab a quick bite. Of course, there are restrooms in here. You can get free cups of water at any quick service place as well. And no, if you just walk back under through that overhang, you can still access the Starbucks inside of the building. I just went around just so you could see what the different entrances looked like. Coming back here into the center, you're gonna see these blue umbrellas. And if you're using Lightning Lane, the Disability Experience Pass, anything like that, you will want to keep an eye out for these blue umbrellas. If you need any sort of help booking reservations or anything like that, this is going to be the mobile guest experience team, and they have iPads and things they can get in and help you with stuff, give you tips, give you directions. Just look for the blue umbrellas if you need help. And there's also some little signs around that do tell you when Cosmic Rewind is boarding and also what some of the current wait times are too. Now over here again is the entrance to Connections Eatery. There's also another entrance down at this farther end here, and on the other side of that you can see Spaceship Earth. So there is another little path that kind of leads right to Guardians of the Galaxy from the front there, where some of that construction was around guest relations. That's another shortcut you could take to get over to Guardians. I hope I'm making sense. I know there's a lot of information, but hopefully I'm stating it in a way that is easy to follow. This is also where you're going to find a Joffrey's location. This is a popular Walt Disney World location in comparison to Starbucks. If you don't want to wait in the Starbucks line, Joffrey's is going to be your next best bet for coffee during the daytime. They also have really big donuts, which are very popular. You will find a Joffrey's location right outside of the park, right by those ticket stands, and then also here right in front of Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, which is what we're going to head over to right now. Now straight ahead here is what is going to be called the Wonders of Xandar Pavilion. So this is, again, one structure, one building containing the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind attraction in addition to a store gift shop. So this pavilion is kind of an area, it's all themed to Guardians of the Galaxy here. All around the front there's some photo pass people to get your pictures in front of the ship, all of that fun stuff. As you can see, there's some walls up over here. That is where you could get a quicker entrance exit. There's also, of course, stroller parking, wheelchair parking, all of that fun stuff here right around the outside. So now, Cosmic Rewind, again, the newest attraction here currently at EPCOT. This is a thrill ride. This is a roller coaster attraction, mainly in the dark. It does use screens, if that does kind of affect you a little bit, and it does spin you around a little bit as well. So it is a launch roller coaster, and you do kind of spin and tilt, and they're blasting loud music. So if that is not your vibe, just know that that is the overall description of this attraction as you help the Guardians save the galaxy. It is one of my favorite attractions, and just know if you're riding this ride, there are up to 6 different songs that you could experience on this attraction. In addition, I also wanted to add about Guardians of the Galaxy, there is a room where you're surrounded by flashing lights. So if any sort of like flashing lights affects you, just know that that will happen. I'm not sure if there's a way to avoid that room or not, but if that does bother you, just ask a cast member and that may be possible for you. Over to my left is the front of the Guardians of the Galaxy attraction. If you're approaching the spaceship, head over to the right. This is going to be the exit of the attraction if you're waiting for someone. And then also here is the Treasures of Xandar, where you're going to find a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy and Marvel merchandise, including the Infinity Stones, the Infinity Gauntlet, and different like costume pieces and retro Guardians of the Galaxy merchandise. Alright, now we're back to the overhang, and I'm going to go straight ahead. Those blue umbrellas are right here on my left, and we're gonna head over here to Mission Space, the third ride we're gonna be talking about today. Now this is probably a least favorite here at EPCOT, only because it is a very tight space. This is a simulator attraction to simulate launching into space. So if you are claustrophobic in any way, do not ride this attraction. Just know that there are some other like little more quiet areas, quiet pathways just over here from Guardians. If you're again waiting for your group and you need some little quiet space, there is that right here. And then we're going to turn again. This is Mission Space straight ahead, very iconic structure. There are 2 different sides you can ride on. The green side is the more like chill side, more slow side, and the orange side is a little more intense ride. So if you want to try the green and just see and then maybe jump to the orange the next time, that's up to you. And again, in front of all the attractions, it does have any sort sort of warnings you may need to be aware of if you're looking for that, along with the height requirements. And then at each ride is where you can measure to see if you can ride it. There's no like specific area where you can check for all the rides. There's just going to be like one in front of every attraction. So very iconic here, Mission Space. And then also, if you're a fan of space, if you just want to experience the space vibes, the newest restaurant over here is called Space 220. You do need to make a reservation for it, and there's also a bar lounge that you can go to as well. This has a lot more like kind of fancy items, like different like steaks and like kind of seafood stuff, I almost want to say. I've never been in there, but it is a very, very cool experience from the pictures I've seen. And they also have the menu here listed outside too. But any sort of dining reservations, you really want to make sure you get prior to coming in. I know right now I'm using this overhang as a reference just because that's the kind of main entrance to World Discovery. Over here they have another pretzel and popcorn stand, and this is going to be another like main location where you're going to be able to find the popcorn buckets that are currently available, and you can refill those for the length of your trip for about $2, so it is a pretty good deal for those. Of course, they also have different drinks and kind of specialty items like Mickey premium bars, all that stuff. Any of these stands will have that. So now heading in here again, this is the main kind of center of World Discovery. We're gonna head over here to Test Track. So right behind me here is the entrance to Test Track. Again, lightning lane, all that stuff. Now this ride, as a quick note, does offer a single rider line. Just know if you get in the single rider line, you will not get to customize your own car. But if you're in the traditional standby line or in the lightning lane, you will get to customize your own car and test it out and see how it does according to speed, efficiency, all of that fun stuff. So it's a really, really cool way to kind of do a little family competition fun. And you can scan it on your Magic Band and kind of like save it. And at the end of the attraction, you get to see how it like compares to other like top ranking cars of the day that people made. So it is pretty cool. If you have anyone in your family or group a fan of cars, they have lots of really cool exhibits there throughout the queue, as well as at the end, that you can see the newest cars and all that fun information. This is again a thrill ride attraction. It's very fast. You can hear it looping around behind me. It kind of zooms through this track and reaches speeds of up to 60 miles per hour. You are sitting in a car-like vehicle, and there is a lot of kind of like bumping, jerking around, kind of like fast braking as well. But it is a car-style vehicle. It fits 6 people inside of it. Now I'm going to turn back around here. There you can see ahead of me is Connections Eatery. There's that little overhang area. There are restrooms right over here as well. And then that pathway is going to connect me up to kind of the main entrance, the hub to World Showcase. But we're going to go back underneath the overhang. We're going to take a look at the other things that were on the left side. And then we're going to loop up to that. It's going to meet at that same exact point. Now underneath this overhang, again, the Starbucks Connections is right over here. On this side, you're gonna find Club Cool, which is a very iconic location here to Epcot. This is a Coca-Cola store where you can actually go in here and buy Coca-Cola merchandise and sample for free different Coca-Cola products from all over the world. It kind of has like a little label, little description, and there's just like little sample cups you can go over there and try. Now we are approaching a very popular store. This is the biggest store in Epcot. If you're looking for something, it's most likely going to be here at Creations Shop. This is going to contain lots and lots of popular items, souvenirs, gifts, all of those things. So they're going to have the newest collections showcased here in the front of the store. Like right now they have all the 50th anniversary stuff, like new Epcot ears. Of course they have mugs, Dooney and Burke's Pandora jewelry, the Starbucks cups, candy, t-shirts, home decor. Right now they have Halloween stuff. There's a big section of ear hats. This is also going to be the busiest store too, but if you're on the hunt for like a particular item, I would definitely check Creation Shop when you're here at Epcot. If it is a specialty item, like something like Figment or something Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, it's most likely not going to be here. It's actually going to be at that ride gift shop. In here right now, you'll also find the Cosmic Rewind merchandise, and then there's also a very big toy section as well. Like this whole back area is like kids and toys and all of that fun stuff, and they do have a small pin section over here I can show you too. Oh, and then also here at the very end of the store, they have all of the festival merchandise as well. There are some phone cases over here, keychains. You can see all the walls of plushies over there. And then this is their like wee little pin section. So not many here compared to another store at the front I'll show you towards the end of the video. Now leaving the far end exit of creations shop. If you would have followed that path around just outside, it would have led you to this point here, and here you're going to find a permanent popcorn stand. Again, this is another place you can get free water from, because I can see that they do have the little fountain drink station. And if you're looking for the popcorn buckets here at Epcot, this is going to be another really popular spot. They will always have a specialty popcorn bucket here, and right now it looks like they have 3 different designs for the 50th anniversary. So coming up to this point here, this is that pathway I said right over from Test Track is going to lead you right here, right to this point. The restrooms were just at the end of this pathway heading back that direction. Now this point right here is quite interesting because this is like the main area right now, past all the construction. But if you were to come from Spaceship Earth straight into the park, it will lead to this point right here, this bridge area right here, which will also have lots of festival kind of photo ops and things right here, because you can get Spaceship Earth in the background, or you can get the front of World Showcase in the background and take pictures here as well. It looks like because of the construction they have all these booths closed, but this is also normally where they sell festival merchandise, and there's also another DVC stand there as well. So heading across that way we'll get to later. I'm actually going to finish up over here on the World Discovery side, talk about World Showcase, and then make our way back up to the front of the park. So we're actually going to head back down this path that I avoided the first time, because there's another place over here I think is good to mention. So straight ahead is going to be that pathway to Test Track, meeting up with like the kind of main pathway over to Mission Space. I'm going to insert a photo here of a map and kind of just highlight all the pathways we walked so far and where I'm currently standing, just to help kind of navigate some things. Hopefully it all makes sense. And then coming back here to the regularly scheduled programming, this is another entrance to Creation Shop leading out this way. Again, Test Track right there, Mission Space straight ahead, Guardians over to that side. This little pathway here is going to lead you kind of more towards the World Showcase side around Test Track. And in here you're going to find another permanent booth. As you can see, it's red to match the land color. And this is going to be called the Donut Box. Right now they're currently serving festival merchandise, but whenever a festival's not going on, you can find some fun themed donuts in here. And I almost forgot to mention, there is where I was standing talking about Test Track. Right over to the right hand side of it, this is going to be the exit to Test Track, and it also has a little gift shop inside. We're going to see if we can go in there just so I can show just a few of the little things they have. I believe there's also a gift shop. There's the car going. I believe there's also a gift shop at the end of Mission Space, but it's just kind of like little spacey themed items. Nothing really too notable in here. As far as the Test Track store, you can get your own Test Track driver's license in here, which is a really fun souvenir to take home. They also have lots of cars merchandise. It's really just car things. There's some Epcot stuff, it looks like, some candy, some Test Track stuff, some little like toy cars collectibles, and like Chevrolet shirts. There also is like a tiny little pin stand in here, but there's never really going to be any of the exclusive or limited edition pins at this location. It's mainly going to be either at Creations or at the pin store in the front, which again I'll show you towards the end. Now heading, again, Test Track here to my left, heading down this tiny little pathway here. This little bridge is going to lead us to currently a festival booth, but it is all indoors. This is known as the Odyssey building and has some really cool bridges that kind of lead you here underneath the monorail beam and all of that cool stuff. So this is one of the little like kind of festival pavilions that they use for different things. Right now they have one of the festival booths inside of it, and there's just a lot of inside seating. So if you're waiting for someone to get off a Test Track, maybe come over here to the Odyssey Pavilion, get a little snack. There's bathrooms right on the other side, and then there's just lots of indoor seating. Also important thing to note here, and we'll head over there in just a moment, the restrooms, baby care, and first aid are going to be off to this side near World Showcase. Now, Spaceship Earth is right behind this tree right here. If you were to, again, walk straight in past Creation Shop, just keep going straight down the middle. There are, again, these little bridges and pathways, but this just center line right here is going to lead you directly to the main point, the starting or ending point of World Showcase. So just keep going straight down here, and you can either veer off to the left, or you can bring this bridge down here and loop around the Odyssey building, which we're going to walk around to now. You could also walk right through the Odyssey building. There's another entrance and or exit on the other side, and this is where you're going to find the restrooms, and then right around the corner over here is baby care and first aid. Of course, you can always look out for the signs or ask a cast member if you need more direction on how to get to this point, because I know, of course, we took many long routes around. This is just walking through the park again, trying to make the best circle that I can. And that will lead you around World Showcase, which is very, very iconic here to Epcot. World Showcase is around our center lagoon here, which is where the fireworks show Harmonious happens. So right now, I've come on the left side test track. It's just right over there. This is Mexico. And each country has its own dine-in restaurant dining area, as well. And if they do not, then they have a bunch of food booths and things outside, things specific to that country. They also have a special store or two featuring items from that country, exclusive to that country, brought in from that country. And now that COVID is finally wrapping up here, some of the international representatives are coming back. So I walked into Mexico here. I may be able to meet some cast members who lived in Mexico for a majority of their life or spent time there or grew up there, and they'll have the knowledge and they can share their culture with me. So I think that is very, very cool that they do that. So the countries you will find around Epcot, starting here on my left, will be in this order: Mexico, Norway, China, the Outpost, Germany, Italy, and then right there in the center directly across is the American Adventure Pavilion. And then following that, Japan, Morocco, France, International Gateway, United Kingdom, and then Canada is the start at the other end. Now the pavilions that actually have attractions are going to be over here in Mexico, and that is going to be the Grand Fiestas Tour starring the Three Caballeros. It's a very small, just cute little boat ride, very relaxing, great way to enjoy some AC. It's a very, very quick wait, like there's never really a wait in there ever. It's a very, very cool pavilion. I recommend going and exploring inside of there as well, and it's great for kids. Any age can ride that attraction. And then back in Norway, you're going to find the Frozen Ever After attraction, which of course is very, very popular. If you're a fan of Frozen, you can meet Anna and Elsa back there. There's also a bunch of princess meet and greets throughout all the countries as well. That is also a boat ride. It does have a drop in it as well and can be a little bit dark at times, but does feature all of our favorite characters and songs that you know and love. And of course, there's also a Frozen gift shop at the end of that attraction if you're looking for any specialty Frozen or princess items. And then we just make our way around over at the American Adventure Pavilion. There is a stage where they often have many festival events and different concerts going on, and you can check any sort of times of those on the Walt Disney World website if you'd like to see if there's a concert happening whenever you're here. And also know when venturing around World Showcase, there will be booths selling the Epcot Festival merchandise. All the stores still have Disney maps in them, Disney buttons in them. Sometimes there are specialty items, like in France there are some like Mickey with Paris and Disneyland Paris merchandise in there at times. But know that each place, I just highly recommend going through the pavilions and just seeing the items for sale there. Obviously that's not something I can go through and show at this point, just because there are so many. This video would be so many hours. And also to note, if you head over to American Adventure, if you're looking for any artwork, any specialty art, any statues, like just like more expensive artwork, that is going to be available over in the American Adventure Pavilion. So be sure to go check that out as well. And now the final attraction over in World Showcase is over in France, and that is going to be Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. That is a trackless dark ride. It does involve 3D glasses. It can be a little bit dark. It does kind of jump you around a little bit because you get to ride alongside Remy. You shrink down to the size of a rat and explore the kitchen with Remy and all of his friends. There also is a specific Remy's Ratatouille Adventure little stand that sells specialty Remy's Ratatouille Adventure merchandise, including the shoulder pal Remy is only going to be found back there in France. I know that's a very popular item. If you're looking for that, just go check in France. They haven't had it for a while, but it will be in France if you're looking for that. Now, speaking of France, I'm going to walk to France right now, and then I'm going to pick up with you there and showcase International Gateway, which is the the second entrance to Epcot. But real quick, first passing the Odyssey Pavilion, heading to that center point of the park, we're gonna pass again little booths like this is what you're gonna find around World Showcase, and they just say like Festival Market, and they just have very like general festival items inside. Now we're passing here another Joffrey's location, and then we're also heading in here to Disney Traders as another notable store. This is gonna be where you're gonna find many more toy items. If Creations for some reason doesn't have it, if they don't have it at Disney Traders, this is gonna be your next stop to check for toy items. Not necessarily any pins in here, any collectibles necessarily, although there are some. You're gonna find lots of Marvel merchandise. Again, few pins over here. Toy Story, Marvel, Mickey and Minnie plushies, Orange Bird plushies, candy, lots of those kind of things. Now, as I walk here to this notable spot, this very notable spot, I'm gonna insert the map right here just to showcase where I am. That way you know where this area is. So straight across here, Spaceship Earth. If you came right down past Creation Shop, straight ahead down this main bridge area that I showcased, those little festival booths were closed. Lots of little photo ops right here. As you can see, there's a photo pass photographer right over here. If I turn directly around, this is the starting point here of World Showcase. There's this like weird like sloped area right next to Disney Traders and also right next to Port of Entry, which are two notable shops. Straight ahead here, this is where you want to watch the fireworks from. This is where you're going to get the best view of the fireworks, is in this front area here. As you can see, there's lots of great space. You want to watch it from this general first half curve of World Showcase or the back curve by American Adventure, because there are projections and little water effects inside of this circle right here. You can watch the fireworks, obviously they're up in the air from the other side, but these are screens and projectors and fountains that the best view of the entire show is going to be straight through this center circle. So if you're planning ahead, just note that, as long as Harmonious is still showing whenever you're here. Now I'm going to walk over this way. Again, this is that main walkway considered in World Celebration before reaching the point of World Showcase. And you'll know when you're in World Showcase because these brown trash cans state World Showcase on them, and that way it also matches the theming, of course. Now we're gonna head over here into Port of Entry. This is where all of the festival merchandise is going to be. Again, if you come into Epcot straight ahead, you're gonna either choose a side, either Mexico or over here towards Canada. And we're just gonna take a quick little loop in here just so you guys can get a feel for what's inside. Again, festival items, lots of Epcot, little Figment, little Orange Bird stuff. Anything festival related is going to be one-stop shop right here or in Creation Shop. They also have 50th items, hats. The festival pins will also be in here, as well as those maps you can also purchase too. Some jewelry, just kind of whatever the newest collection is will be in here along with the festival merchandise. There are a few ears, but I feel like there was definitely a bigger selection over in Creations Shop. So if you want to ride Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, when you get to the World Showcase point, I recommend going right, closer to France. If you want to ride Frozen, I recommend going left. That will be your closer bet to Norway, so you do not have to hike it all the way around the countries, because it does take some time. Epcot is mainly meant for drinking around the world. If you're a fan of alcoholic beverages, this is going to be your park to do that. Very, very popular thing to do here. They have all these festival booths selling different alcohol from all of those different locations, along with different food samplings. That is mainly what all the festivals do, allow different food samplings for the different times of year in those countries. And it does change every single year. Some of the items do stay the same, but note that other ones do change. Okay, so quick time jump. Did a little bit of walking here. This is France straight ahead of me, and to complete the World Showcase loop, you want to head towards the left, towards France, towards the rest of the countries. But if you go right, over here there is a stand that has a lot of Disney pins as well as ears, and you can also get water and bubble wands here. So there's another good little pin stop for you right over here towards the right. There you'll see the sign here kind of listing wait times off as well. But if you continue down this pathway, you're going to approach a gift shop called World Traveler, as well as an additional entrance and or exit to Epcot. Inside of World Traveler, you're going to find items themed to the Disney Skyliner. You're also going to find some 50th items, some little toys, ears, kind of any little extra things, sunscreen, like almost like a little sundries-ish store, kind of like how we've seen throughout the parks. They're just kind of little pop-up things. Just if you need something, forgot something, lost something, is going to be right here. You can also rent strollers and ACVs here as well if needed. They can help you all out with that. So if you're exiting the park this way or coming in the park this way, you can do any of that little swapping there. There's also a little character meet and greet happening over here, this little pop-up thing. So now this park exit and this park entry is linked to the Disney Skyliner. You can see coming down here, which is another form of transportation here at the Walt Disney World Resort. This is one of its 2 park stops. So you can come here and get on the Skyliner and go to Disney's Hollywood Studios, Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort, Art of Animation, or Pop Century. Now, if you continue underneath this path here towards the Skyliner station to hop on, again, park hopping to Hollywood Studios, great from here as well. Or if you had Hollywood Studios coming over to Epcot, again, the Skyliner is the perfect spot for you to do that. And then you can even come here and then get on the monorail to Magic Kingdom. This is definitely Epcot's a pretty good hub as far as cool transportation to get from park to park. Now, if you keep following that pathway around, if you're staying at Disney's Boardwalk, the Swan and Dolphin, or the Yacht and Beach Club, you can walk to Epcot from here, and this is going to be the entrance that you come in. Or again, you can also get on the Skyliner and go over to Hollywood Studios. You can also walk to Hollywood Studios from the Boardwalk Resort, or you can walk from here, walk to the Boardwalk, and then there's also lots of great dining options at the Boardwalk. If you just want to pop out and eat at any resort, you can do that, and then just come right back in this way. Or if you want to go eat at Pop Century and then take the Skyliner back and then come back in to Epcot, you can do that as well. So just know that this is kind of another hub area connecting lots of resort hotels and another park to this back entrance exit way. If you're looking to get a Disney bus to a resort like Art of Animation and stuff, you do not want to use the Skyliner. You want to check the bus stop locations at the very, very front of the park. The only places that you're going to be able to get bus transportation is going to be at the front of the park, along with boarding the monorail is only going to be at the front of the park, and of course parking is only at the front of the park as well. So this is just if you're taking the Skyliner or if you're staying at one of those local Disney resorts. Also know when going through the countries, just about all of the gift shops in all of the countries have a pin board. Just ask a cast member, and if you're coming here with kids, know that there is a special activity that they can do. It's called KidCot, and whenever you go around World Showcase, whatever the first country you stop in is, go up to a cast member in that location, ask where the KidCot stop is, and there you can get a little bag and you can collect stamps from all the countries, like little stickers, little cards for information about the country. Sometimes there's a little craft or activity you can do. It's a great way to cool off for a little bit, give the kids a little activity to do, a little scavenger hunt for them, and it's all free. And sometimes they will update the different stickers, the different items that you can collect throughout Epcot. So that's another really, really cool thing you can do here for free. Alright, so I made it back up to the center of World Showcase. So straight across again is American Adventure. That main pathway is just beyond the crowds right here. This is the port of entry store. And coming this way again towards Canada, if I follow this path around, it's going to put me back in the last land we're going to be looking at today, which is called World Nature. So we're going to kind of look at it from the back point of view, and right here towards the left is going to be very big restrooms. If you'd like to stop off before you journey into the countries, it's probably a good time to do that. So this pathway has led me to, again, those construction walls at the front of the park. Spaceship Earth right ahead of me, that popcorn little box stand that's all blue there where we talked about the closed kind of little booths across from Test Track and things. This path will lead you to there. So this was just World Showcase is one big circle, and the front of the park currently is now also one big circle. So straight across that way is Creation Shop. So now we're going to loop this way, which is green, and this is because it is World Nature themed, and this is leading us back up to the front of the park. And this is where the Moana Journey with Water attraction, little walkthrough, photo ops, and all those things will be right here. Passing once again underneath the monorail beam, which also does a circle around the front of Epcot, we're approaching what is called the Imagination Pavilion. Right behind this is Canada, leading over again into World Showcase. And here you're going to find an attraction called Journey into the Imagination with Figment. This is a very iconic attraction. Figment is exclusive here to Epcot at Walt Disney World. Oh no, this little popcorn stand is currently closed over here. Well, usually they sell popcorn right here at this location along with all those souvenir popcorn buckets, but straight ahead here is Journey into the Imagination with Figment. This also has a very, very short wait. This is a dark ride. There is a moment of flashing lights, kind of wind blowing at you, but it is a very, very fun ride. The song will get stuck in your head, I absolutely promise you that, and it's just very, very iconic to the history here of Epcot. Now up inside the pyramids here, if you're a DVC member, this is going to be an exclusive lounge for you to go up there, get some free drinks, like Coke products and stuff, and just enjoy the views of Epcot. It's really, really cool. I've never been up there, but I've seen photos and it looks absolutely amazing. At the end of Figment though, is going to be right over on this side. There's a store, and there's also a bunch of little interactive games and elements, including meet and greets with Vanellope and Joy and all of that fun stuff. Before we head in there though, I do have to mention over here the Magic Eye Theater presents Disney and Pixar short films. They're currently showing these little shorts again. If you need to cool off a little bit, you have kids, watch a little movie, eat a little snack, all of that is just going to be right up here in the theater. And that has a 15-minute wait, so it's like a 15-minute show. And also, if you've looked up things, of course, I have to mention up here, if you've looked up anything with EPCOT, you most likely have seen pictures or videos of what is called the jumping fountains, and those are up here too. Look how fun! This is also a super, super great photo spot. You've got the PVC fountain over here. Something that also kind of lets your imagination run free. Really cool area. Kids love to play with the water and stuff, so that's really, really fun. We're gonna head down here into the Image Works and What If Labs. I know that in here they also have a pin board, and they have lots of Pixar stuff as far as merchandise goes. There's lots of Monsters Inc. stuff. Of course, there's a little pin kiosk, and here you're gonna find all that Figment exclusive merchandise, although it looks like it's a very, very small section right now. But usually you'd find any sort of stuff in here, turning red items, and then back there's all those little like play spots, little photo opportunities with characters, and then there's a bunch of ears and candy in here as well, and then that's the entrance there to the DVC lounge. You just come inside of the Figment gift shop. Okay, so these construction walls again is going to feature that Moana walkthrough, and then right at the end, I don't know if you guys can see right here, those end of those construction walls, that's the front of the park. So if you walk into EPCOT and head towards the right hand side, it's going to put you over here in World Nature. Note again the green trash cans, and here you're going to find the Seas with Nemo and Friends, which we'll get to. That will be the very, very last thing there at the end. You're going to approach here. Right in the center is the Land Pavilion, and this features Soarin', and as well as Living with the Land, a boat ride attraction. So we're gonna go in, I'm gonna talk about those, as well as the dining options available here in the Land. The Land Pavilion is a very great place to cool off. It's all inside, just one really big building with 2 attractions and 2 dining locations. So lots of ramps in here as well as elevators too. And this is the inside of the Land Pavilion. It's very, very pretty, very, very beautiful theme. Oh, I almost forgot to mention Awesome Planet over there. It's just a little movie, little video you can watch as well, and on the little theater, kind of course, talks about the planet and nature and all of those wonderful things. Right down here at the bottom of the escalator, you're gonna find Living with the Land, the boat ride, and that's gonna talk about how they use a lot of the fruits and vegetables that they grow here in the Land Pavilion and all the restaurants around Walt Disney World. So it's very, very cool to go in and see how they store all those things. If you're a fan of gardening, if you just, I know, it's just a really, really nice chill ride. You can learn some things, see some really, really cool ways that they kind of grow and study plants in there, and you can also do what's called the Behind the Seeds tour, where you can actually walk around in there as well. That's something I've never done, but hopefully I can do here very soon, and of course I'll do a video of that if I'm allowed. Right below me is Sunshine Seasons, and this is a quick service restaurant full of many, many things, many, many snacks, all of that stuff. I feel like the menu does change fairly frequently, so just be sure to check on your My Disney Experience app to see what's available every day. And then over there to the bottom left is Soarin' Around the World. If you're afraid of heights, just know that that may be a little bit of a concern for you as you do go soaring around to lots of icons throughout the world. Know that that also does use screens and different smells. If, again, that affects you in any way, or if that sounds really cool to you, it's a very breathtaking, wonderful attraction, and I believe they're currently testing out a single rider line with that too. So if that's something that also interests you, just be sure to go down and check and ask and see if they're currently doing that or if it has been put into place. Of course, there's also restrooms in here too. And then lastly, here on the top level is the Garden Grill restaurant, and that is actually a turning restaurant. It slowly moves as you're eating in there. They also serve breakfast. It's a really fun place to go. It's all themed to nature. You can also look into the Living with the Land attraction when you're inside of the restaurant from above, and it's also a character breakfast or character lunch or character dinner, and you can meet all the Mickey and Friends characters, Chip and Dale, all of those fun things as well. So that's the Land Pavilion. There's also a small little gift shop right over here next to Soarin' that just has a few like Soarin' t-shirts in it, and that's about it. So otherwise there's nothing else in here as far as shopping goes, but a great place as you can see to hang out, sit, dine, go on a little boat ride, soar over the world, and meet some characters. Alright, so lastly, the last attraction today, we have the Land Pavilion over there, Figment straight ahead, we have the monorail beam again, bring us back into the front. There's another blue umbrella here in case you need help, and there's also a little ice cream stand right behind me. All these pathways just kind of like lead to the same like merging point up by Figment, so whichever way you go around here, there's lots of stroller parking over here as well for both the land and the seas. Really, really great photo op over here, and then right behind me is the Seas with Nemo and Friends. It's a slow dark ride attraction, any size, any height can ride. Really, really cute. Get stuck in your head. It can be a little dark at moments, Does have the music and all the characters from the film. Otherwise, nothing else really to note there. Really cute attraction. And then again, right there by the front of the park, good thing to do on your way out or way in. It's always like a 5, 15, sometimes it jumps up to a 30-minute wait in some cases. And then over here to the left of the entrance is going to be the exit of the attraction and also a little gift shop. So we're gonna check in there. You get off the Seas with Nemo and Friends just over here underneath all of these stairs. This is the aquarium, the second largest aquarium on this side of the world. Absolutely beautiful. There's lots of little things you can go in, you can learn about, talk to the cast members, they can inform you of all the things. It's very cool. Even if you don't want to ride the ride, you can still come in here and explore. There's like a little scavenger hunt, little game you can do. And there's also Turtle Talk with Crush over here. You can actually talk to Crush, ask him questions. It's a really like fun, funny show, good for kids to interact with them as well. So then here we have the exit. Over here, I don't think they didn't change the sign yet. It used to be called Future World. This is the gift shop area. You're gonna find lots of little snacks, little goodies, as well as, of course, Nemo and Friends merchandise from Finding Nemo, Finding Dory, t-shirts, even beach towels, mugs, plush, all of that fun stuff. Cool little gems and things you can collect from the seas. There's also bubble wands in here too. There's also a fuel rod location over there, and there was another one over by World Showcase. And again, if you just look up on Google fuel rod locations at Epcot, there's a full list in case they would for some reason move them. I don't want to tell you the exact spots because they were probably going to move them. They do have a pin board here as well, and there's also a decent little pin wall over here. If you're a big fan of under the sea and aquariums and stuff, you may want to check out the Coral Reef restaurant. It also offers a view of the aquarium while you dine in, and that is a reservation location, kind of a more fine dining place if that interests you at all. So now kind of following the construction walls, there's many signs up here that do say park exit this direction. So again, if you were to come in the park right here at the front gates and you would go to the right, that would lead you to this whole world nature area that we just checked out. So now we're heading back up here to World Celebration. I see the trash cans just turned blue as we walked over this direction. Alright, so I decided to walk back to the front of the park to avoid confusion. There's all that stroller parking over there. There's the fountain, there's Spaceship Earth straight ahead of us. Again, before we went off to the left, we checked out little gateway gifts here, and then we went up past guest relations. And Spaceship Earth, the attraction, is right ahead of us. Now if we go towards the right-hand side, Pluto and Goofy are still out here meeting too. Might say hi to them on the way out. And we're gonna check out the Pin Traders store. And if you're looking for pins here at Epcot, this is gonna be it. It's also referred to as the Camera Center and Pin Trading. So if you need help with PhotoPass, pictures, purchasing pictures, any of that stuff, you're gonna come here, and they often have a pin board here right outside. It looks like here they have a bunch of Epcot merchandise still. You can also buy lanyards and magnets and pop sockets and all of that fun stuff, phone cases. And then if you're looking for any sort of exclusive pins, you want to make sure to look inside of these cases to see the ones they have available behind the register. They have a very nice range right now. Wonderful. And then back over this way, you can also find magic bands here as well. And you'll notice that if you watch any of my other park tour videos, there's always a store that has pins and magic bands inside of it. Now, right to the right of Spaceship Earth here, we have more restrooms and lockers. So we're gonna go in here and just preview the little lockers. And these are day lockers, just right here at the front of the park. So if you buy something, you can put in here and then access it again on your way out. There, I believe, are 3 different size lockers. There's small, medium, and large. There's also phones in here. And locker rental, let's see, different languages. So large is 10, it kind of shows you like the size reference. 12 and 15 for the day. Sorry, standard, large, and jumbo. And you can also choose where kind of you'd like them to be at, and then you can use your card or cash to pay for that. So that is Epcot. That is a super brief overview of the experimental prototype community of tomorrow, also known as the Epcot theme park here at the Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando, Florida. I had a lot of fun today going around and just noticing everything, just acknowledging everything and all there is to do here. There's so much to explore and so much that I didn't even get to mention, but that's the general overview, general kind of wayfinding directions, tips I can give when coming here to Epcot. If you have any questions about Epcot, be sure to leave them down below in the comments and I can do my best to answer them. If you have anything about the day-to-day kind of like park operations and closing times and all that stuff, you can view it on the My Disney Experience app or here at the front gates, guest relations, or any cast member here throughout the park. They're super knowledgeable and can help you with many things. So thank you all so much for joining me here today at Epcot. Again, be sure to subscribe so you do not miss the other park overviews. And as always, remember to do what you love and do what makes you happy, and I will see you all next time. Bye!